Okay, actually, what we can do, a regular game of chess, and this video can go for the road to 2300 if I post on Saturdays. That's what I was gonna do last time, but I didn't. But we'll do it. We'll play a regular game. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're gonna get a 2378. Just going through the whole process, what I'm thinking here. So d4, I'm just gonna go for knight f6. c4, e6. If knight there, bishop here, the nimso. If they go for that, we can go for this idea. Already undermining the center. And if takes, we take with a bishop. We can even take with a... Actually, we can go for a process where we just lock everything down in the center. So here we can just castle, move the knight, and then go for this f5 push. Maybe they also want to go for an attack, which is fine. Maybe this. But this, queen there. We'll go here. So we gotta be careful with h3, right? Because if I castle, there's this push. Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna go for this move. If this, and my rook is open here. Okay, now we're gonna try to trade. We're gonna trade all these pieces here. And our center is very fine. I think my light square bishop is better. My light square bishop is better. Hey. So this guy doesn't want to castle, and I will not castle myself either. Maybe I can go for this approach. But not yet, because the bishop is there. So now this pawn is being touched a little bit. No, you're fine, you're fine. I'm just gonna do the... I'm just playing a regular game right now. See how it goes. It's a little bit tough because high rate opponent. But we're gonna do what we can, right? We're gonna try to play well. So here's this. If I go here, rook here, huh? What if I just go here? Where does he castle? Does he castle this way? If he castles this way, I just break everything, right? I will... Can I consider going here? If this... That's kind of too risky. So here I cannot castle, I don't think. Yeah. So I'm going here, attacking this pawn, but now this pawn is also hanging. So actually this is not too bad for me. This is very good for me. Now he just loses a pawn. And the knight's hanging. Bishop here. We're actually winning. What the heck? Because I always have bishop f6. Or just this. Wait, we're actually doing well. He missed that play. I need to castle. Nice! What? Dude. Anonymous browser, yeah. Yeah, you can send a challenge, but let me review this game real quick, okay? It's very fast, so let me review it quickly and then we can... What the heck, man? I mean, this is a... Okay, I don't have the thingy, so I'll just have to do regular... Dude, that was the quickest game ever, and I won like so many points. Holy crap, new peak rating, 2248. Wow. What the heck? Alright. So, let me review this quick and then we can play some game. Yeah. So, d4, knight f6, c4, e6, and I explain, right? If we go for the knight here, then we can put the bishop here on b4. But that didn't happen, so here I just went for this. I usually, on this approach, I go for b6. So I guess b6 is actually the second best move. But I say, you know what? I'm just gonna go for this approach. And I've played these lines several times before when I go just d6. If they don't capture... No, okay, so Rick, there's a greater idea than this though. And I'll show it to you, okay? There is a way, but it was not just one pawn. That's why he resigned, so I'll show it to you. But kind of, right? But it was way more than that because it was gonna be 2 pawns and an attack. So I'll show it to you. Like, from what I saw, at least we'll see with the engine, but that's what I was thinking. So here I've been liking going here. So there's obviously this idea where you can capture, but e5, I like this idea because it kind of like this e5 push kind of reminds me of a King's Indian attack or King's Indian things that you have to consider, where you have to move your knight and then go for f5 push. So I just go for this. I wanted to castle, but when my opponent went h3, if I castle here, there's just g4, you know, and I have a bunch of pieces in the back rank, and my opponent hasn't committed his king. He can move the bishop, move the queen or something, and then just castle long. I can obviously attack as well, but I didn't want to commit. And this idea is also, I'm gonna go for this push, maybe put the bishop here or something, I don't know, and then go for this at one point. There are options, there are positions where you can just sacrifice a pawn to get an open file and everything, right? Hey Jay, how's it going? Good, I just defeated this high rated player, man, and holy crap. Alright, let's go. Wait, Jay, did you get to play Deadlock yet or not? Is it not on your Steam yet? Okay, so knight bd7, g4. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't castle yet because that was gonna come anyway. So here I'm thinking, if he pushes the pawn, I take. If he takes like this, I'm already targeting this pawn on h3, right? So I don't have to castle that way. Maybe I come like this, bring my queen, bishop, castle this way. Right? You didn't get the call yet? Maybe soon then, because I sent it a while back, so hopefully soon. Hopefully soon, huh? Also, by the way, here, if there's this idea of this and I capture and they capture with the bishop, I have this move, which is actually very strong. Knight takes d5, because the bishop is being attacked by the battery. So if the bishop captures, I capture back with the knight. Oh, but actually that doesn't work because then they have queen here. Never mind. The queen takes d5, d6. Never mind, doesn't work. Okay, your friend, that's what he said? Okay, but I sent it to you, so hopefully you get it this week. Bishop d3, and I just bring my knight here to go for a trade. I want to go for a massive trade. Everything, my queen here, and you know, like my opponent has overcome, like push and overextended the pawns forward. So there's this, and I was thinking right away, oh, I can capture, but not yet because the knight's also defending, right? So let's see what the best move here is. Knight bf8. And I was thinking of this, I didn't play that, but there's this a common idea where you bring the knight and you can go here. If they go here, you're going for this f4 square or something. Or even try to attack h4, right? So I go for this, which is probably not, I mean, it's not the best move, right? That's why the bar just goes the other way. And maybe consider, I need to move my pieces to better squares, maybe queen here at one point, but need to be careful with this. And then bishop here, and then go for this push, maybe. But if takes, I need to be careful because my queen will be seeing the rook, so no, we wouldn't rush with that, right? So here, it's still screaming for knight. This knight has to go this way to reroute and look for better squares. Anyway, so I go here, targeting that pawn, and here I cannot. I was thinking about coming here, but what's the point of this? Because they can just go rook here, right? So here I just go for queen a5. Okay, so now we're getting closer to the idea where my opponent castles, and I'm definitely not castling short, right? I need to like move my knight, but I move it the other way. So here, although it's advantage for the white pieces, my opponent, I don't think he sees the idea, because now I am targeting this pawn. And that's why my opponent played queen c2, and that's a blunder. Wait, what's the best move then? Rook dg1. So bring this rook here. Oh, but he still loses his pawn though. Actually, I wouldn't care about that. If rook moves here, I still capture this pawn. If takes, I'm like, I'm coming with checks and things. So my opponent goes here, and I can just capture on g4, and my opponent resigns. So let's look at the idea, right? My bishop is attacking the knight. The knight's not defended. If the knight moves anywhere, let's say here, I capture the rook, right? Obviously. If the knight moves here, I can capture the rook. If takes, I can even capture this pawn. So if the knight moves this way, I can just capture the rook. If the knight moves this way, I just capture the rook, and I'm up the exchange. And I'm always putting a lot of pressure here anyway. I cannot really castle, but I can always just move like this. Manually bring my king to c7. Maybe at one point move my other rook and just bring my king here and manually castle all the way to like a8. But the idea is, if my opponent goes bishop here to e2 to defend the knight, now if I captures, I can capture here. So it's losing 2 pawns with an attack on the bishop. If the bishop doesn't move, I double the pawns. And now if I want, I can even castle short too, but I wouldn't probably capture it short. So that was more than just 1 pawn, right? But yes, but it's because like there's nothing that they can do. They either are down the exchange and they get to keep the pawn, or they lose 2 pawns anyway, and there's no attack from them. You see it, Rick? No. So it's, yes, they lose a pawn, but it was more than that, because it was like, it came, you either defend the knight or you are down the exchange. So you lost a pawn and you'll be down the exchange, which is like you lose a point value piece and a +1 pawn, or a minor piece and 2 pawns. Well, you don't lose, you just lose 2 pawns. So obviously he would have to go here, this, and I go here, attack the bishop. And I would probably move my bishop here and defend all this, and like, I'm so solid here. Or move my knight, I don't know. So that's the thing, like here is like, what attack does white have? Nothing. Because first of all, the bishop is blocking this pawn. This bishop is gonna get captured. If he doesn't want to get his bishop captured, too bad, because the bishop doesn't have any good squares to go to be saved. It's gonna get captured anyway. So even there, I would just capture this probably. Or even take my time. No, I will just capture it, so they don't have the bishop pair. You know, I would probably do something like that. Maybe bring the queen back to attack this or something. Maybe move my knight. That's it. They're just down 2 pawns. And look at their pawn structure. They have weaknesses. Actually, this is a big weakness, h4. If I go here, if they push the pawn, my knight goes here to g5. That is a lot. So that's why they resign. I think it's because of the 2 pawns. And there's no pawns on light squares, light square bishop, bad bishop. That's just too much. I mean, I have also bad bishop, but at least I have more pawns. Cool. That's my new peak. That's super cool. I don't know if what's his name? Anonymous browser. If you want to send a challenge and rate a challenge, you can send it. That's cool, man. Oh man. 52 points away from 2300 now. That's a new peak rating, huh? That was like 11 points, huh? Holy crap.